one of Tamil literature's greatest, celebrated and promoted by PM Modi, also known as Thiruvalluvar. He's influenced Tamil culture for 2 millennia. Modi launches Thiruvalluvar Scholarship for Malaysians.
Well, he never ruled a kingdom, he never commanded an army, he never built an empire, and yet, more than 2000 years later, his words continue to guide millions from far-off countries to a towering statue rising from the seas of Kanyakumari to scholarships named in his honor. India is once again celebrating one of its greatest minds, the ancient Tamil poet and philosopher Thiruvalluvar. Hello and welcome. You're watching the NewsX Explained, and my name is Vineet Malhotra. Today we take a look at who Thiruvalluvar was and where he lived, what he wrote, and how a man who lived 2 millennia ago still shapes modern India. Commonly known as Valluvar, little authentic information exists about the renowned Indian poet and philosopher. His life and likely background are variously inferred from his literary works by different biographers. Best known as the author of the Tirukkural, a collection of couplets on ethics, political and economic matters, and love, the text is considered an exceptional and widely cherished work of Tamil literature. And so, Thiruvalluvar is one of the most revered figures in Indian history, and yet he remains one of the most mysterious. Historians believe he lived sometime between 300 BCE and 500 CE, most likely in Mylapore, in present-day Chennai, Tamil Nadu. But unlike kings and conquerors, Thiruvalluvar left behind no palace, no inscriptions, no personal record. All he left behind were words that would become immortal. Simply called Valluvar, his honorific title, Thiru means sacred or respected. Some traditions say he was a weaver, others say he was a philosopher or a teacher. But what is beyond dispute is his contribution to human thought, because he wrote one of the greatest ethical texts ever created, celebrated for its universality and secular nature. Valluvar was influenced by a wide range of scholars down the ages since his time, across the ethical, social, political and economical, religious, philosophical and spiritual spheres. He has long been venerated as a great sage, and his literary works a classic of Tamil culture. Well, his masterpiece, Tirukkural, is a collection of just 1330 couplets, each consisting of only 2 lines. Short, simple but incredibly powerful. The Thirukkural is divided into 3 sections. The Aram, meaning virtue and morality, the Porul, meaning wealth, governance and society, and the Inbam, meaning love and human relationships. Together, these sections form a complete guide, not to religion or politics, but life itself. The Thirukkural teaches values like honesty, compassion, discipline, leadership, justice and humility. For example, one of his famous couplets says that just as the world cannot exist without water, so too order cannot exist without righteousness. Another says, the wound caused by fire heals with time, but the wound caused by words never heals. In just 2 lines, he captures truths that remain relevant even today. His work doesn't speak of any single religion. Instead, it speaks of universal values, making it respected by Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and people of all faiths. This universality is what makes Thiruvalluvar unique. What is interesting is that neither his actual name nor the original title of his work can be determined with certainty. The Tirukkural itself does not name its author. French translator Monsieur Ariel, who translated the work in the 19th century, famously called it the book without a name by an author without a name. The speculations about Valluvar's life are largely inferred from Thirukkural and other Tamil literature that quote him. And according to the Camille Zwellabil, a scholar of Tamil literature, Valluvar was probably a learned Jain with eclectic leanings and intimate acquaintance with early works of Tamil classical period and some knowledge of the Sanskrit legal and didactic texts. The earliest known textual reference to the legend of Valluvar is contained in the Shaivite Tamil text, the Thiruvalluvar, where it remains undated. This text attracted attention in the colonial era because an early 19th century commentary referred to him as Valluvar, whose text presented the esoteric wisdom of the Vedas to the world. Various claims have been made regarding Valluvar's family background and occupation in the colonial era literature, also inferred from selective sections of his text or hagiographies published since the colonial era started in Tamil Nadu. One traditional version claims that he was a pariyer weaver. Another theory is that he must have been from the agricultural caste of the Vellars because he extols agriculture in his work. Another version states he was an outcast, born to a pariyer woman and Brahmin father. What is widely believed, however, is he likely lived in Mylapore, now a bustling neighborhood in Chennai. At the time, Mylapore was an important center of trade, culture and learning. The ancient system could well be the oldest part of Chennai, with written records of early settlements going back to the 1st century BC. Merchants from Rome, Greece and Southeast Asia visited Tamil ports. Ideas, languages and philosophies followed freely. Its ancient port had a flourishing trade with the Roman Empire, receiving gold in exchange for its products like pepper and fine cloth. Saint Thomas the Apostle allegedly died at Mylapore in 72 CE. Ptolemy had recorded in the 2nd century CE that the port of Mylapore was known to the Greeks and the Romans. The Saivite saints of the 7th century, Saint Sambandar and Saint Appar, have sung about the shrine in their hymns. It was in this vibrant environment that he wrote the Tirukkural. Today, Mylapore houses the Thiruvalluvar temple built in his honor. The site stands as a reminder of the poet who emerged from humble beginnings to shape the moral imagination of an entire civilization. Besides this, a historical monument named Valluvar Kotham came up in Chennai in 1976, and there is a 133-foot tall statue of him in Kanyakumari. The most recent statue of the Tamil poet was unveiled in Ulsur near Bangalore in 2009. Thiruvalluvar influence extends far beyond Tamil Nadu. His teachings have shaped Indian culture, ethics and governance. His couplets speak directly about leadership. He writes about the qualities of a good ruler, justice, fairness, compassion and wisdom. He warns against corruption. He emphasizes that power must be used for public good. Many of his teachings align with modern democratic values. In fact, the Tirukkural has been translated into more than 40 languages, including English, Hindi, French, German and Russian. It is taught in schools, quoted by leaders and respected worldwide. For Tamils, Thiruvalluvar is more than a poet. He is a moral compass. In fact, knowingly or unknowingly, you can hardly have missed his teachings throughout your life. He famously said, "There is no greater wealth than virtue and no greater loss than that to forget it." As well as those who in trouble untroubled are, will trouble itself. Indian leaders often invoke the giant of Tamil literature. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman quoted him while presenting the 2026 Union Budget, stating, "Just as living beings live expecting rains, citizens live expecting good governance." Then today, while on an official visit to Malaysia, Prime Minister Modi announced initiatives to deepen cultural links. Key amongst them, a new Thiruvalluvar Centre to build on the existing Thiruvalluvar chair at the University of Malaya. He also confirmed the establishment of a new Indian consulate in Malaysia and the introduction of the Thiruvalluvar Scholarship to support Malaysian students pursuing studies in India. The Prime Minister's outreach stands and sends a powerful message that India's ancient wisdom remains relevant to modern global challenges. The moment brought Tamil literature and Thiruvalluvar to the world stage, not as history but as a living philosophy. We take a shot.
One of Tamil literature's greatest, celebrated and promoted by PM Modi. Also known as Thiruvalluvar. He's influenced Tamil culture for 2 millennia. Modi launches Thiruvalluvar Scholarship for Malaysians.